Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Josh Van here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Kansas City Chiefs once again, but today I wanted to go over a potential transaction for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is really an awkward time to be making a potential trade video. With the season only a couple days away. I know the Chiefs, they play Sunday, and everyone's wanting to hear about that and previews and stuff, and I've done previews on my channel. I did one yesterday with Pete Smith from SI Browns Digest. I also did a live stream yesterday on Michael Darcy's channel, KC Sports Report, where we previewed the Browns game. So, I mean, we've done all that already, and we're still waiting on a few things to happen to talk about. Like, if Tyrann Mathieu is out for this game, he's still dealing with COVID, then I'll probably make a video or something real quick talking about that, because that's going to be a big deal. But so far, I mean, it's all up in the air. I mean, that's all you can really say about it. But back to what I was saying, there is a potential trade that I would like to see the Chiefs get in on, and I thought about this for a while. Brandin Cooks obviously is the name, wide receiver for the Houston Texans. But after watching last night's NFL kickoff featuring the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, watching the Buccaneers with Antonio Brown, who now looks like the Antonio Brown of old, he had over 100 yards in that game last night, was a star, and ideally, he's the third receiver on that team. They got Mike Evans, they got Chris Godwin, they got Antonio Brown, and then you still have guys like Scotty Miller, the rookie Jalen Darden, who's a burner out of North Texas. So, I mean, they're just loaded, and I'm not saying that the Chiefs can't get by with the receivers that they have, but, I mean, looking at all those weapons Tom Brady has, it's just unfair. It really is, and we all know that the Chiefs were once in that spot, and it's just watching that game last night, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way I do, but watching that game last night, I'm sitting here thinking, why can't we give that to Mahomes where, you know, the offense is just unguardable? Like, with Sammy Watkins, when he was at his very best, made our offense truly unguardable, but we didn't get to experience that a ton. I would love to see the Chiefs get a guy like Brandin Cooks, and we'll get into that here in a minute, who just makes the offense unguardable and gives you just another option, because we've recycled the same storyline over and over again this offseason about whether or not McCole Hardman can step up as wide receiver too. And I think it's still a question now. And if he doesn't, then it's just looking iffy. And I am getting really worried. Knock on wood, please, knock on wood. But the Chiefs have been really lucky with injuries over the past few years when it comes to their, best star players. But Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill can only take you so far, and this offense just, I don't know if it'll still be good enough if one of those guys goes down to win the Super Bowl. So I would like, a viable option on this offense outside of those two, so you're not relying on them so heavily, and we hope McCole can be that guy. But heck, even if McCole can be that guy this season, why not add another one? And Brandin Cooks of the Texans would be perfect. Reason number one being that he's available. I mean, Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated reported that the Texans are willing to listen to offers on pretty much any of their veterans. I mean, the Texans are going to be a terrible football team this year. They're viewed as one of the league's worst rosters. I don't think they really look to compete this year. I mean, that whole organization is just a dumpster fire, and I think they're already having a fire sale because you look, they just dealt Bradley Roby, who is a capable cornerback, to the New Orleans Saints for just a third-round pick, and I would not be surprised if Brandin Cooks is available at all. And Brandin Cooks, he's not the traditional X you're looking for. He's 5'10", 180. He fits more so the profile of what the Chiefs already have in guys like Tyreek Hill or McCole Hardman. But like I said, why not just add another one? And he is someone that is a perennial 1,000-yard receiver. And it's really, I mean, Brandin Cooks truly is one of those guys that has the talent, has the production, but gets zero recognition. I mean, 2014 as a rookie, 550 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2015, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. 2016, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. 2017, 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. I mean, this guy, he just continually puts up great numbers, and for some reason has bounced around the league, has struggled to find a home. He's been with the Texans now for a little bit, but from the sounds of it, they're willing to get rid of him for the right price. Now, the thing with Brandin Cooks is he signed a 5-year, $81 million contract back when he was with the Rams. And while that sounds like a lot of money, I actually did some research on his contract. I went to spottrack.com, and his base salary for 2021 is only $2.5 million. Next year, he's making $12 million as his base salary. So if the Chiefs were to trade for him, they could absolutely fit him under the cap this year, no problem. I mean, they have about $10 million or so in cap space, so $2.5 million wouldn't be a stretch at all. Next year is when it gets a little bit tricky, but the Chiefs could have over $30 million in cap space if they cut these three players: Frank Clark, LDT, and Anthony Hitchens. I think we kind of expect all those three to be gone anyway, so you have enough money for Brandin Cooks over the next 2 years if you really wanted him. Money's not an issue here, but I would love to add Brandin Cooks to this offense because he fits the vertical passing that the Chiefs would like to do. Again, he is a guy that doesn't differ too much from like Mecole and Tyreek, but he's more, I mean, he's proven to be better than Mecole Hardman. Like, that's not a debate at all. He would be insurance for Mecole Hardman if he doesn't pan out. If Mecole remains that gadget player and he's kind of viewed in that same status that he is now, then adding Brandin Cooks would be a huge, he would soften the blow a little bit because he's someone that can go out and get you 1,000 yards and be, a reliable weapon. Mecole hasn't shown that yet. Mecole has not shown us that he can be a 1,000-yard receiver. Brandin Cooks has. You can use him in motion. He can take the top off of defense. Like, he would make the offense unstoppable in defenses. I mean, could you imagine if Tyreek Hill has to come off the field for a little bit or he needs a break or whatever, and they put in Brandin Cooks, who's, still got the speed element. He's kind of built like Tyreek and can replicate what he does, and those defensive backs that are tired from chasing Tyreek all game all of a sudden have to deal with Brandin Cooks after that. You've also seen a lot of people on social media kind of talk this Brandin Cooks to the Chiefs trade into existence a little bit. In fact, there was an article that came out from Fansided yesterday from the NFL Mocks branch that suggested a trade involving the Chiefs and the Texans for Brandin Cooks. Here's what they said. Texans trade Brandin Cooks to Chiefs and for a third-round pick, right? When Mohamed Sanu nets a second and Will Fuller was being shopped for a third-rounder, getting a third for Brandin Cooks should be no problem. The Chiefs are seriously lacking at wide receiver, and the hope is that Mecole Hardman breaks out and takes the wide receiver 2 reins in his third season. However, with a team that is in a Super Bowl or bust year, why not take a look at a perennial 1,000-yard receiver in Cooks? Cooks fits the Chiefs' vertical style and can thrive underneath as well as in motion and pre-snap and the quick passing game, kind of like how I said earlier. He's reliable and would give the Chiefs a true threat on the outside while the Texans get a day 2 pick out of the trade to help the rebuild. Not to mention Nico Collins gets a start, so it works out for both teams. And again, that's from NFLMocks.com, a Fansided by Jacob Shivnick. I've said it multiple times, and I'll say it again. I don't think we can understate Brett Veach and his willingness to go out and get a receiver and really just his urge to go out and get one because he went hard after Juju Smith-Schuster. I think they figured out ways to fit certain guys under the cap that they were looking at in free agency. I don't buy that they just threw up their hands at one point and decided they were fine with what they have. Like, I do like the upside of guys like Darius Fountain and Mecole Hardman and Byron Pringle and stuff, and I know a lot of fans are, but clearly the Chiefs, they weren't at one point, and I don't think that desire to add a receiver just totally went away following training camp and preseason. I mean, the stuff that Andy Reid and Brett Veach say, that's all coach and GM speak to me. Of course, they're going to be confident in their guys publicly, but, I mean, you have a chance to add a really good receiver here. He fits under your cap. He's a big play receiver. And Mahomes, he's about to enter the season where he has the most talented offensive line he's ever had. You're coming off a Super Bowl loss. Go out and get Brandin Cooks, man. I'm pounding the table for this. I would love this. I don't know how you guys feel. I know we've discussed many different receivers this offseason, and recently, some of the guys that were cut. I mentioned something about John Brown. I mean, Brandin Cooks is 5 times better than John Brown at this point, I feel like. I mean, again, Brandin Cooks is a perennial 1,000-yard receiver. He just came off another season in which he had 1,000 yards. I think he would be an awesome weapon to add to this team, and really, I would not mind at all giving up a 3rd or 4th round pick if that's what it takes. So I'm passionate about this. I would love it. After watching that Bucks Cowboys game last night, I was jealous of what the Bucks had, and I think we should try to go blow for blow with them, because that's probably a team, if we make it to the Super Bowl, that's going to be on the other side once again, and we need to be able to match that. So I'm pounding the table for Brandin Cooks. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree, disagree with anything, let me know in the comments. Would you like to see the Chiefs go from Brandin Cooks? All that being said, though, that's all I got for today. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. And make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and kckingdom.com. Peace.